Legend tells of a band of noble guardians, sworn to vanquish evil and to save our kingdom. But they remain lost in the mists of Garhul, hidden to all but those who believe. Stop! You're gonna give her daymares.
But this is my favorite part.
You have a soft head, Soren, filled with stories and dreams.
There's nothing wrong with dreams.
So what was it like when you got the call from Zack saying, I'm going to make this family film and it's about owls and I'd like you to be one?
Yeah, well, I was sort of sent a script first and was told about this animated owl project. So I read it kind of, you know, what's this going to be like? And was totally sort of drawn into the story and was just really, like, excited, really, that someone was prepared to take a chance with an animated film and not just sort of pamper it to kids and, you know, make it cute and fluffy. And it actually had these very kind of graphic sort of, you know, battle scenes that were written in this script, and it was all about these owls wearing helmets and claws and all this, you know, and I just thought, wow, that sounds bizarre. And then it was only then after I'd read it that I found out it was Zack Snyder who was going to direct it. So I was like, okay, well, that makes a bit more sense, you know, I can imagine, you know, this is going to be really visual and these battle scenes will really work if it's got someone like Zack, you know, behind it. So it just started sort of ticking all the right boxes for me.
Are you a big owl fan? What made you do this?
Am I a big owl fan? I mean, look, you know, I had a, I think everyone, it's hard not to like owls, you know, because they're so cool. And so, but, you know, the idea that they would be talking and have a culture and that they would be able to have, you know, architecture and that they would be able to build things. I remember early on one day I showed the trailer to a friend of mine, and he goes, "Where did they get those helmets?" And I'm like, "Well, they made them." And he goes, "Oh, it's that kind of a movie." And I'm like, "I don't even know what that means," but yes, they did make them. So yeah, no, peopling a world with owls has been quite a challenge, but good fun.
How was it to be approached by Zack Snyder for an animated film with a mostly Australian cast? Was that weird to you?
I didn't know a lot of these things going in, so I always have delusions of grandeur anyway, and then when this sort of became bigger than Ben-Hur, and then it is what it is now, I was like, wow, this is what I was signing up for in the beginning. I would have been so much more nervous. It was kind of nice sort of not knowing any of those things at the time.
Okay, so you just got a script through the door.
Mm-hmm. And I'm originally supposed to read for the role of Soren. Okay. So I read the script and I thought, well, as good as Soren is, I didn't connect with it in the same way that I did with Clud. I really sort of felt his angst and his tortured soul, I guess. So, because I'm also an older brother. Okay. So I put myself down on tape for that. I guess Zack felt that same angst and hired me.
My soldiers, it is time to take the Owl Kingdoms.
Those birds are doing something terribly wrong.
And you're gonna need to fly a long way to get to the Guardians.
You mean they're real?
Oh, they're real, all right.
As a child, were you one of these people that liked sort of legendary kind of battles and, you know, helmets?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's so, yeah, it's just all that escapism, imagination. I love fantasy stuff as much as it's really important to do, you know, realistic stuff. I like the balance between both, you know. And, yeah, and you can't get more sort of out there than sort of being an owl who talks, who becomes a sort of warrior soldier who fights evil owls, you know. But, yeah, it was definitely as a kid, and, you know, to hear your voice coming out of an animated character is a lot of fun.
Part of their mythology and their culture is this legend, and it is quite classical based, like the way 300 is, you know, with their helmets and things. And obviously the fact that they fly kind of ties it into your next project, which is Superman.
Nice.
So is it a nice little sort of bridging point for
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, the nice thing is that, for me anyway, is that making an animated film is like making a giant special effects film, you know. It's been quite a learning experience, but a challenge as well to take kind of all of my skill set from making visual effects films and kind of try and link them up with the actual actors in my movies now are not real. So it's been quite a challenge to make it all make sense. But it has been fun. I think making 300 has informed me a little bit. Making Watchmen gave me a little bit of info. Even making Sucker Punch has given me that little extra bit here and there, just enough knowledge to be able to speak with the animators who were amazingly generous with me and allowed me to, come into their world and hopefully not mess it up too much.
What are we gonna do, Soren?
We're gonna find the Guardians of Garhul.
You've all come this far, each protecting the other. When you have flown as far as you can, you're halfway there!
What did he say?
We're halfway there!
And was Zack on hand watching you whilst you were doing it?
He was sort of, a lot of the time he was in another country, so he would direct me over Skype. I had his big face projected on a screen, and he would just be kind of looking down on me. And but credit to his directing. I mean, it never hindered anything really. I mean, I always felt like he was present and sort of in the room, and he was listening to every kind of nuance of my voice. And I think actually it might have even been a help, because I mean, he was just able to just focus entirely on the voice and the story that the voice was telling, and shape that rather than get caught up with what I was doing with my flapping arms.
Well, you've shown him you can fly, so do you think maybe you could be his new Superman?
No, I don't think I would suit that tight-fitting outfit. I don't know. I can't see it myself.
Jim said that he was sort of flapping around doing owl impressions, so did you feel free to kind of do a bit of the moves?
Yes. You kind of have to, in terms of just it really helps getting into that world. The more you kind of summon your inner owl, the more real it's gonna sound, I guess.
How about he's making the prequel to 300? So would you fancy getting the helmet back on?
Very nice. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. I wouldn't be backward. What's that?
I could see you doing that.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing that.
CGI six-pack though.
I don't know. It would be easier, wouldn't it?
Talking about Superman, your two main guys in the film, Ryan and Jim, they were apparently flapping around the studios doing their voice work. Did either of them catch your eye for the lead of Superman?
Oh, nice. That's nice. Well, like I say, we're early in our process, so who knows?
I'm hoping that he won't have feathers.
I hope so too.
Follow me! Get them! An ambush! I bet you didn't count on this. Hold on!
Come on, Soren. We're not finished yet, boy. Be a young owl with a taste for adventure, arriving at the tree for the first time.
Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Owls.
Owls who?
Ha, that's right, owls who?
If I have to hear any more of his ridiculous owl jokes.
It's hilarious.